Greetings! This week I retook parts of my bench test for my application to the Watch Technology Institute, located in North Seattle. I improved my performance over my first application to the WTI in every area. But did I improve enough to be accepted this time? Well, I just don't know. I'll find out within the next 2 weeks and let you all know. In the meantime, I'm trying hard to not think about it. I really hope I get in. Here's a follow-up to my last video about the broken roller jewel in my grandfather's pocket watch. The first step forward is to clean out the debris in the hole. It looked like a jewel remnant and some other gunk was in there. I applied 99% isopropyl alcohol to the hole. I poured some of it into a small cup and first tried using a medium-sized oiler to transfer it to the hole. I tried 3 times and it wasn't up to the job. I'm assuming because of the thin viscosity of the alcohol. Well, unlike lubrication, there was no need for me to be measured or stingy with the alcohol. So I switched to my steel tweezers. With them, I was able to easily flood the hole multiple times. Those big tips you see in the video are the very thin tips of my number 2 tweezers. I used the tweezers to dump an alcohol flood 3 times. Then I waited a minute for the alcohol to do its thing to any shellac that was still present. I went back to my medium oiler to apply slight pressure on the gunk. It took me 2 attempts to get a good angle on the oiler head. A little bit of pressure applied and the gunk popped out. You can see some shellac particles on the hole's rim. I flooded it again, pushed the oiler into the hole, moved it around a little bit, and after the alcohol evaporated, I now have a clean, shiny hole for a roller jewel. When I pushed out the gunk, most of it skittered off to the right of the balance wheel. The jewel remnants were nowhere to be seen. In hindsight, I should have set up a barrier to catch all of the debris for analysis. Well, that's a new thing I just learned. But the remaining shellac plug was easy to find. My friend Mark from Australia raised the possibility that the jewel was friction or shellac mounted, depending on the watch's production year. Not needing to learn working with shellac on my own was an appealing proposition, but this conclusively shows it was held in with shellac. My next steps are to assess if the remnant fits snugly or loosely within the hole and to measure its dimensions with an eyepiece reticle. Those 2 bits of data will help me order the right size jewel and know how to best install it. In November, I shared my search for a smartphone mount for my microscope. I had 2 reasons for believing a smartphone was the best choice for taking video and photographs. 1, I already owned an iPhone. 2, it had much better resolution and image processing than I would find in a microscope camera anywhere near my price range. After a few times of using my iPhone to take photographs and video from my microscope, I now see advantages to using a dedicated camera. A camera will stay attached to the microscope. You set it up once and that's it. It's always ready to use. Whereas you have to mount and dismount a smartphone every time it's used. And it's never just mounting the phone. You can easily spend 3 or 4 minutes each time getting the phone situated perfectly in the adapter and the adapter on the microscope. Mind you, the adapter I recommended, the Novagrade double gripper, is still my first choice for a smartphone adapter. This thing is a tank. But it's a hassle to mount the iPhone in an adapter, decide whether to remove the case first, fiddle with it in the adapter, take the videos, dismount the iPhone, then AirDrop to transfer the content to my computer. That setup is cheaper than buying a dedicated camera, no doubt. It's not even close. But I'm doing it more often than I had expected I would, and so eliminating the hassle factor is appealing. So, I'm now shopping for a dedicated microscope camera. I'll post a video about it after I buy it. I've been puzzled about a focusing problem with my microscope. I have to refocus it when I change zoom levels, which shouldn't be necessary because it's a parfocal design. And sometimes when the view is in focus for my right eye, it's out of focus for my smartphone. I figured out both problems. It was me. I hadn't properly calibrated the microscope. Here's how to correctly set up your parfocal microscope and achieve proper focus in the triocular camera port. I assume your microscope's third port shares the light path with the left eyepiece, so you can choose to see an image in your left eye or record it with your camera, but not both at the same time. First, you need to set up a viewing target for the calibration. Use a target that will be at the same height off the bench surface as your typical work will be. Both eyepieces should have a plus-minus diopter adjustment, so reset both of them to 0 adjustment, i.e. as though you have two perfect eyes. Wearing your glasses so you have perfect vision, look through only the left eyepiece with your left eye. You adjust the zoom level to maximum and then adjust the focus to get a sharp image. By doing this, you're also setting the camera port's focus to be at a sharp image for its perfect vision. So if your corrected vision left eye sees the target clearly, so will your camera or smartphone. Now look through only the right eyepiece with your right eye. If you want to use the microscope without your glasses, take them off now. Adjust the right eyepiece diopter so the vision through the right eyepiece is sharp. Do not change the microscope focus. Change only the right eyepiece diopter setting. By doing this, you're calibrating the microscope so that when your left eye or camera sees a sharp image, so will your uncorrected right eye looking through the right eyepiece. You're done. The camera port will now be in focus when your right eyepiece image is in focus, and the image will remain sharp for your camera and your right eye when you zoom in or out. Now, if you view an object that's at a different distance from the objective lens, that is at a different height off your bench surface, you will need to recalibrate. Just go to your highest magnification and refocus. You can then zoom back out to any lower zoom level and the image will still be sharp. That's all I have for you today. Remember that age is just a number. Till next time, take care.